I just could not keep up with my teammates. I was tired. I lost motivation. I didn't really have much of a personality because I was just miserable.
First year of college sounded like another challenging chapter as well. So anxiety, depression, a lot of loss of structure, watching your grades slip.
Because it's a condition that gets worse over time as you grow and your body changes. Your chest concaves in.
Welcome to the Rain from Within show. I'm Shane, your host. Everybody in life has a story. Most people carry scars that shape how they see themselves long before anyone else notices. And this show is just about real one-on-one convos from people in all walks of life, a lot of people from the strength community, some outside of it, about the experiences that form them from the inside out. Today's guest is Krysta, and this one hits close to home. Krysta grew up in a highly athletic family where pressure and comparison showed up early. She was born with pectus excavatum. If you've heard of that, it's probably because I had the same condition. We went through the exact same surgery, her and I. And yeah, we were about the same age, teenager. So when we talk about anxiety, self-image, and learning how to be comfortable being seen, this is something that I understand personally. We get into growing up in the background, how surgery and recovery impacted her confidence, losing structure during college, and finding direction through faith in strength training itself, discovering that accountability, helping her rebuild trust in herself. So, this is a story about becoming more grounded, confident, and at peace with who you are. And if you're enjoying these convos, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, drop a review. Quick 5-star helps a lot, getting the name out there. And if you feel called to share your own story, head to strength.com/athlete to learn more about joining our community. That said, enjoy the show. Krysta, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Let's go. I have a lot of questions for you. And just to preface, you have the same condition that I had. Well, we both had the pectus excavatum. So that makes this even more special. I don't know a lot of girls that have it. So it's really unique and it's very special to have you here.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's not as common with girls, so it's awesome that you brought me on here to talk about this. I'm looking forward to it.
awesome. Well, you grew up in a very athletic, high performing family. And from early on, you felt pressure to live up to that environment. Can you walk us through what that was like growing up and how it shaped the way you saw yourself?
Yeah, yeah, that was very hard for me growing up. Like, I love my family. They are a great inspiration. I'm the oldest, so I have two younger siblings, a brother and a sister, and both my parents. And my parents are Ironman triathletes. So they're doing triathlons nonstop, constantly training. They're very passionate about what they do, which is awesome. And I think that was a good influence on me in my life as well. And we were all swimmers as kids. So my brother was a national swimmer. My sister was a state qualifier. I was just right behind my sister. We swam the same events, but I could never catch her toes. And I put a lot of pressure on myself because of my background and my family. And I was not happy. I beat myself up. I couldn't understand why I couldn't meet those expectations. And it's not like my parents intentionally tried to make me feel like that. But because of that environment, I was extra hard on myself. And I had that chest condition as well. And that limited me, especially when it comes to swimming, because that is big cardiovascular sport, a lot of endurance. I was year-round swimmer, varsity, high school, varsity team on high school, and I did club as well. But I just could not keep up with my teammates. I was tired. I lost motivation. I didn't really have much of a personality because I was just miserable. I couldn't breathe, felt like there was pressure on my chest. So again, my parents were a great influence, but that pressure, it was hard growing up.
I totally feel you on the breathing. I was the same way in track. And I think it's very admirable the fact that you still went out and did the swimming because you can never catch me. Even like I was a guy, so like, there's less to cover sometimes. And, I would just wear the swimming t-shirt, I'd be one of those guys. But yeah, the fact that, you know, your swimming background, I also have 2 younger siblings. You got a brother though, dude, that's where I'm missing. I always wanted a brother. That's awesome that
Yes, and he's oh my gosh, he's so fast. He's definitely got that athletic build. I'm like, "Dang it, why can't I have that?"
dude, your whole family sounds like a bunch of beasts. So, as you mentioned, you shared that being born with pectus excavatum, it affected you, not just physically, of course, with the breathing, but also mentally and emotionally, especially as the competitive swimmer. So, can you go a little bit more in depth on how that condition influence your confidence, endurance, and relationships with your body during those years?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely can. So, at the time, I was 12 years old when I joined a competitive swim team. I never knew of this chest condition. I didn't know that this was abnormal. I thought, "Sure, okay, looked a little funny," but I didn't think it affected my performance. I had no idea really what it
Mm,
was. And my parents never noticed it when I was young because it's a condition that gets worse over time as you grow and your body changes. Your chest concaves in right onto your organs, which is exactly what happened to me. And at that point, when I started swimming, was when it was at its worst.
mm,
So I started to realize it when girls on the swim team in the changing room would make fun of me and they would say, "Why does your chest look like that? It's like a hole in your chest that looks weird. That's not normal." And they teased me a lot for it. And that's when I got really self conscious. And keep in mind, even before this condition, I was a timid, shy person. I didn't really talk much to girls on my team. I felt like it was safer to sort of stay back and stay hidden in the background rather than put myself out there because I had a lot of anxiety. And that just made it 10 times worse with girls picking on me and having that struggle with swimming. I couldn't meet my times that I was supposed to get because I had good form, I had good technique. My coaches were frustrated with me because
mm,
they just couldn't understand why I couldn't perform to where I should or how I should perform. So they were frustrated with me and I could not breathe. I was exhausted all the time. I was tired. It got to a point where I hated swimming. I was jealous of my siblings, jealous of my teammates, and I just was stagnant. Like I just didn't feel drive. And ultimately, I stopped swimming when I was 18 years old, and I wish I kept with it, but it took a big toll on my mental health for sure. And the chest condition was just a part of it. So,
hey, well, it had a huge impact. I totally relate to that. Not being able to do as well as you want to in sports because of all the internal battles you were facing. You already covered it quite a bit. You were dealing with a lot of anxiety, self consciousness holding you back. So at 16, you went through the major surgery, brutal recovery. And yeah, how long were you in the hospital for?
days.
Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. I was 6. You freaking beat me. Dude, I wanted to leave Children's Hospital Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think so.
What? Dude, we probably have the same nurses. Wait,
Oh my gosh, what if we were in the hospital at the same
who
time?
was your doctor?
Oh my gosh, his last name started with a C. He was
Oh,
a nice guy. Calkins?
okay, I Densmore. But same hospital, same condition. I was 15, so,
I was
um,
15, 16. I'm trying to
16?
remember what year it was, but yeah, around that time. I think it was 16.
Let's go. So,
Mm.
I totally hear you on, brutal recovery. Did you sleep in a reclining chair?
I did. I did sleep in a reclining chair. I was pumped up with morphine and all of these pain medications. Oh my gosh, I felt so nauseous, and they would get you up to clean you and to walk you, and I remember I looked at the nurse and I was like, "I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. Put me back down." Like, "I can't. Please don't make me walk today." And she's like, "You have to." And I'm like, "I don't wanna imagine the pain of what it'll feel like throwing up with all that pressure and that bar in my chest." I'm like,
Mhm.
"Ah." So, yeah, yeah, the recovery sucked. I remember the nurses had to wake me up at 1 in the morning because they had to check my heart rate and my pulse to make
Mhm.
sure I was okay, and I just remember I was like, "Ugh," like, they're waking me up again, and it was New Year's Eve, I had New Year's. I celebrated New Year's in the hospital too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
They had like balloons and little hats on and everything, the nurses. So they tried to make it enjoyable, but I was like, this is terrible.
Oh,
But worth it, but worth it.
so worth it. Yeah, the nurses, shouts to everybody at Children's Hospital that did such an amazing job for both of us. And yeah, so in this season, what do you think it was trying to teach you? What do you think are the biggest takeaways from that recovery process?
Oh boy, gosh. That is a huge thing.
Yes, let's revisit because,
Things that it teached me, the recovery process. Well, for one thing, um, I remember before going into the surgery, I initially decided I didn't want to get it because they said this is one of the most painful surgeries that children can undergo, and the doctors were warned. I remember, like, I cried in the office. I said, "No way, I'm not going forward with the surgery." I was too scared. I was afraid all the time. But my parents gave me that push because they knew it would benefit me in the long run, that it would increase my longevity and I'd be healthier and happier, even though I was so determined not to get it at that time. But I just realized then, like, I was so thankful for my family and my siblings. Like, here I was, like, envious of them. Like, I was angry at them almost, even though they were great family. But I was like, I wish I could be like them or meet those standards. But that's when I realized that pressure, I kind of took that pressure off myself. Like, that fear started to go away too. And I realized that I could do this and I have an awesome family and I could do so much more now that I got this surgery.
mm,
And I didn't feel as afraid anymore. Like, when I was in the recovery, no, when I actually woke up right after the surgery, little groggy, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm alive. I made it. I did it.
yeah.
I thought I might not wake up. That was one of my biggest fears, but I realized I have become a way stronger person after that surgery.
Mm,
That I could do these scary things and push through because I know in the long run it's gonna make me a better person and make me stronger, happier, healthier. So that was the starting point. That was a pivotal point in my life. Like, okay, I got this surgery. My sternum is normal. I could breathe. It opened up so many new opportunities for me. Granted, it was a starting point. I still had a lot of other challenges ahead of me.
yes.
So that physically felt great, felt better. I felt more confident, but still struggled with issues from within,
Mm.
which is what drew me to your brand. But anyways,
Let's go. Yeah, I think sidetrack, dude, we're both from Wisconsin and you're from Portage. And my dad, the connection I have to Portage is that's where my dad took the test for driving when he was like 16. In Portage, y'all have some like crazy streets.
yeah, I live right in between two one ways, so very confusing at first. Both go different directions. So,
Exactly. That's what I'm
I
saying.
know. Yeah, yeah. I know. I actually just moved to Portage about a year and a half ago from my job,
Okay.
but originally I grew up in Waukesha.
Right. Okay, so let's go back to college. Okay, so your first year of college sounded like another challenging chapter as well. So anxiety, depression, a lot of loss of structure, watching your
Mhm.
grades slip. Looking back now, what do you think that season was trying to teach you?
Yeah. So college, I started. I was 18, still had that barn and everything. Didn't
Mhm.
get the bar moved till I was 19. Again, felt better. The surgery did help my confidence, but shoot, I lost my train of thought here. I know where I was gonna go with that, but
Well, I do want to say one thing you mentioned to me before the call was, during this season, maybe you got a little bit closer to God. You talked about praying to God for guidance during the time. What I want to ask you, like, what did that moment of prayer mean to you, and how did it influence your decisions moving forward?
oh my gosh. So yes, that's when I really reached out to God. Because going back to college, okay, I remember what I was gonna say now. Again, I felt like I looked good physically and I felt stronger. But when I went off to college, yeah, I lost that structure. My parents kept that structure for me. School kept that structure. So I struggled a lot with depression, anxiety, had no motivation because I was like, what do I do now? I'm away from home. I'm alone. I didn't have many friends because, again, like I sort of hid back in the shadows in the background, didn't
Mhm.
talk to people as much. So I felt like I was on my own. So then it reached a point where I just reached out to God. I was like, I need God's help with this because I feel like I'm in a black hole. I can't get out. Mentally, I was spiraling and my grades were suffering, and my parents didn't know how to help me. And I was still kind of comparing myself to my siblings because my sister was an exceptional student in college, 4.0 GPA, whereas I had a 2.4 in my first semester. But what I did is I opened up my little journal because they give you a journal at UW Madison, and I wrote down
Mm.
Bible verses relating to strength, to confidence, to self acceptance, because those were the biggest things I struggled with. And I just had to remind myself God made me who I am for a reason. There's a purpose for me in this world. I went through these challenges for a reason. God is trying to grow me, not just physically, but mentally and from inside as well. Because that is my biggest struggle in life was from the inside. So just really praying, going to church, going to like a youth group, having those conversations with God. He told me, he was like, go and just do something. Don't know what, but just go and do something. You can't sleep all day. You can't eat like crap at school all day.
Mhm.
You need to actually go and do something productive. So then I started going to the gym.
Ooh.
I started getting out there into different clubs and groups and trying to socialize more. I met my best friend. And then slowly but surely, things started to get better. I got my group. I kept reaching out to God, reading those quotes for motivation and inspiration. And I just slowly started to transform my life. But it wasn't a drastic thing. It took time and it took some discipline. It was hard figuring out that structure for myself until eventually I found a job that I liked, ended up getting a full time job. I graduated, um, got into weightlifting when I was 21. And then slowly that structure came back to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to highlight that strength training. So, first off, that was amazing. Yes. Totally understand where you're coming from with like it's like we live parallel lives, seriously. You master the physical and then you realize yes, it all starts from within. That's what this whole podcast is about, reigning from within and what
Yeah.
strength is about as you
And
know.
that's what's to your brand was that message and your message. It was very inspiring because I felt like I could resonate with that message. Like, oh my gosh, like this guy at first, he's you're just like everyone else. Like you had the same
Mhm.
struggles. Well, not everyone has pectus excavatum, but
Okay.
struggles with self-acceptance and identity and what your purpose is. And you were able to overcome those issues. And it took you time, but you did it and you turned it into something amazing and made an amazing brand with an amazing community. And that is admirable and inspiring. And that is why I wanted to join Strength because
Dude.
your message, I could see myself in you in a way. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this guy all these awesome things and he went through the similar challenges that I did. It's like if he can do it, I could do something.
So
I
fair.
so love
Exactly.
myself.
Dude, thank you so much. I'm very grateful that our paths crossed, Krista.
Me
So,
too.
tell me a little bit about the strength training when you got into working out in the gym and such. At 21, building the structure in your life, what did creating routine and discipline and these intentional goals you started to set, what did that give you that you didn't have before?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that is a great question. So when I initially started weightlifting, it was because physically I wanted to change still.
Mhm.
Yes, I had that surgery, but because of that surgery, because of the recovery, I lost a lot of weight. I was very skinny. And I wanted to feel healthier and strong. So I'm like, okay, I had this surgery. It's opened up this door for me to reach my potential. Now I might as well take advantage of it. So got into the gym, honestly had no idea what I was doing. Did a lot of research online, figuring out how to use machines. Had a lot of gym anxiety too, because I looked like I did not know what I was doing at all with the machines. And that's okay. I tell myself like that is okay. I am here to grow as a person. grow myself. Everyone
Mhm.
in the gym is here to do the same thing. Don't let other people intimidate you because if anything, they will support you and they'll help you because the gym community, for the most part, is a pretty positive community.
Mhm.
So going from there with training and figuring out my own routine. Oh yeah, so I realized at first the reason why I wanted to join the gym was to change physically and in a way get validation from others because I didn't have that in high school. I didn't have that validation. I was
Mhm.
hiding. I was scared. So that's kind of what I was doing. I was like, I want these people from high school to see that I look good and then I grew up. And I did. I gained weight. You see the definition. I
Mhm.
toned up. I've created a routine for myself. But then as time went on, and even though I was getting that attention, something still felt off. I still struggled with self acceptance. I still beat myself up. I still didn't accept me and my imperfections. And that's when I made my fitness account. And then I realized I was like, I want to inspire people for who I am, my personality. I want to embrace my imperfections. So going back to the discipline and routine, that's when I started to lock in. Again, took me about 2 to 3 years of figuring that out,
Mhm.
dealing with anxiety, dealing with life's challenges, realizing that I don't need to seek validation from other people. So 2 to 3 years later, I realized that. And I'm like, I can make a bigger message, a positive message, sort of what strength represents, rain from within, discipline,
Yeah.
consistency, self love. So that's kind of what I started to angle myself towards. So because of the discipline, I make myself go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, no excuses. Because if I know if I don't, I'm gonna do nothing all day. I'm gonna beat myself up. I'm gonna get
Mhm.
anxious just sitting around. So I train my body to go to the gym even in those days that I don't feel like it. And every single time I finish a workout, I feel great. Every time. Takes off the stress and anxiety. I feel good. I did what I had to do. I also I was following a stricter nutrition plan, not eating frozen meals. I ate that all the time in college. I cooked more consistently, making a meal plan, meal prepping, tracking a little more.
Mhm.
But at this point, this was maybe 2 months before I joined Strength, where I was figuring it out. I was figuring it out, but there's something else that I was missing, and it was that extra push, like a
Mm.
community to push me and to give me that inspiration.
Yes,
So
I wanna talk about strength for a sec there. So, you joined us. Do you remember the exact date? It was, like, pretty recent. It was, like, a few
it
months ago.
was recent, early December, late November,
Psh,
around that time.
yeah. Fresh. You're fresh. So, dude, well, I appreciate, you've seen great things so far already, hopefully, and you talked about how the guidance and the structure and the accountability have helped you stay more consistent. What has that support allowed you to unlock within yourself?
Sorry, can you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah.
Just glitched.
So,
Wait, what?
what are the or what has helped you inside of strength the most inside the app?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
since becoming an athlete.
Definitely. Yeah. So I would say one of the biggest things, the community for sure. It is an awesome community.
Let's
I did not
go.
realize when I signed up for Strength that there is this big community behind it that I could collaborate with and communicate with. It's a very good support system.
Mhm.
And I see that on TikTok. They're all liking my posts, commenting, reposting, hyping me up. And I realized like these are people just like me, like
Mhm.
same struggles, going through life's challenges, struggling with identity, self acceptance, reigning from within. Like they all have that message behind them. So it just felt super inspiring knowing that I have a community, you, Diego, the 100 plus people that are a part of it. It's like they have each other's back. And that gave me a push to keep going, to stay locked in, to stay motivated, because I could see that my content is inspiring people too. That
100%.
they
Yeah.
inspire me, I inspire them. And I would say the fitness program that you guys have is awesome. That app is phenomenal that Diego uses with
Yep.
the workout
Mhm.
plans and with the tracking. And I love that there's meals or like recipes like already on there, like
Mhm.
pre-made meals. meal recipes on there that I could just click and look at the ingredients, look at the calories, the macros. It's all measured out for you. So I just felt like, okay, like here I am, I'm part of this community. I have a coach and it just keeps me locked in. Keeps me locked in. Because before my again, I was consistent, I was disciplined, but I would have like a week of falling out where it's like I don't
Mhm.
feel like going to the gym or like I'm gonna eat McDonald's today or Culver's or it was inconsistent. So like signing up for this program, it felt like, okay, like I have a community with me that's supporting me. I have a coach. I'm going to lock in and I'm going to spread my message. I'm going to spread it
Mm.
to people and I'm going to grow from within too, because that is still something I struggle with. But this community has helped me accept that and work on that, that I'm not perfect and that is okay. And that I need to embrace myself for who I am. So I love that. And I love the community for passing on that message.
Much love. I want dude, you've made an insane transformation when you think back to how things used to be, like pre-surgery, right? Exhausted, anxious, trying to stay invisible. Even in college, still struggling with it quite a bit.
It was hard. It took years and years, still figuring it out. I'll be honest with you, still figuring out, but the drastic progression, or not drastic, it took time, but the progression, you can see the differences over the years. It's definitely worth it.
You can feel it too. Like it's the
Yeah,
confidence, you have the radiant energy.
I know.
You know what it feels like to be at rock bottom almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I was stuck in a rut. Like if you asked me maybe 6 years ago, 5 years ago to hop on this call, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would have like an anxiety attack. I'd be flustered, like so nervous.
Yeah,
I'm scared to talk to people and I'm scared putting myself out there. But I know it's like it's worth it to do it. Like you just have to take that risk. Get out of your head, get out
100%.
of that negative mindset, trust God, trust the people around you that support you. The people that don't support you, don't listen to them.
Mhm.
They bring no value in your life. It's your life. Accept who you are. Do what you want to do.
Yes, very well said.
Don't let fear overwhelm you. It was like that for years and years and years. I just stayed silent. And I'm at this point where I'm like, I have a purpose on this planet. God has a purpose for me. I want to spread my message. I want
Mhm.
to share my journey, just like how Shane shared his journey. Because I really resonated with that. Honestly, like you've helped me get out of my shell,
Let's
like
go.
bringing me on here and
Yeah.
talking and doing these things. It's awesome.
Heck yeah. No, people need to hear your story and you're making content already. You have an amazing story. And I tell people this too. Like you and I, we have a unique story where we went through that life-altering procedure. But for the viewers watching as well, they also have their own story. And that's the coolest part about strength is there's people that come from all walks of life. And when somebody like you, Krista, that has a story, especially that's like, I'm not saying it's better than anyone else's, it's just unique, right? Not everybody gets a metal bar put in their chest. Somebody needs to hear it. Somebody's going to listen to this. Okay, I think a lot of people will, but they're going to feel inspired to maybe do something similar in their own life and take that leap of faith. That's the theme
Yeah.
of what this is all about. It's taking that leap of faith and being just struggling with or I want this is my last question for you actually. For someone listening who struggles with self-acceptance or fear or just feeling like they're not measuring up, what would you want them to hear from your journey?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because those are all things that I have struggled with for years and years and years. My piece of advice I would say or my gosh, words. The piece of advice I would say is to not hide in the shadows. Don't let fear overcome you because it will paralyze you. And
Mm,
if you let it paralyze you, you're not going to get out of it. You're going to get stuck in that rut, like how I was stuck in that rut. Every single decision, every social interaction, every part of my life, I would overthink, I would overanalyze. If a new opportunity came up for me, I would come up with an excuse to get away from it because I was scared of being seen. I didn't want people at that time to know who I was, to see all my insecurities, my imperfections. I
mhm.
felt safe. but safety does not fulfill you. Like, I never felt fulfilled. I felt stuck. I was depressed. You're stuck in that rut. So, my piece of advice would be overcome that fear. Don't dwell on your thoughts. Don't let your anxiety hold you back. You just have to do it. Just do something. Something, try something new. Get out of the house. Start lifting weights. Like, lifting weights was incredible for me. Because, sure, at the beginning, it started as validation. Like, oh, I want to be seen, kind of like an ego thing, which at the time, not the best reason to get into something, but it was a start. But
Mm,
through that journey, I learned so much more about myself. It gave me motivation, it gave me passion, gave me structure that I lacked. I had that discipline. It applies to so many things outside of my life, not just I'm going to go to the gym, lift weights, get jacked. Like, I feel amazing right now, physically
mhm.
and mentally. Again, still have challenges, but that's life. That's life.
That's true.
It has progressed so much more where I love how God made me. I love, that I'm kind of quirky, a little awkward. I embrace it now. People appreciate that about me. It's not a
Mhm.
negative thing that I need to hide.
Mm.
So I just accept who I am, and if I can, take those jumps. Like getting on that phone call, signing up for the strength program. I was
Yeah,
hesitant about that. I was scared too, but I'm so happy I did it because I knew I'm like, okay, I saw Shane's video for a reason. Like, there's a reason why I saw his video, his story about the pectus excavatum, the surgery, because you inspired me to come out of my shell some more.
let's
So
go.
I thank you for that, Shane. But that's
Of
that's my
course.
advice there.
Yes. No, you're in full alignment with the brand mission. Like I've said a couple times now, so grateful our paths cross. You're literally a living testament of what strength stands for. Your path of healing and leaning on your faith and now coming out of your shell. It's one that people need to hear. So really appreciate you coming on. And yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. Great work.